Bethel School of Supernatural Ministry is the culty church that I joined, and I did my 3rd-year internship with Georgian and Winnie Banoff, and now I'm going to tell you about how the church leadership did not protect me from a reported abuser. So where we left off is that Ted is completely love-bombing me. He is 30 years old. I'm 20 years old. He is telling me that I am everything that he has ever prayed for, and I just think that I am living this fairy tale romance. Now, his ex's stuff is still at his house. He told me that he was just such a good guy that he was letting her keep it there because she had nowhere to put it. Okay, I reached out to Sarah a couple months ago, and I finally got the full story of what her background with Ted was, and it is shocking. She told me that not only had they not broken up during the summer like he had told me, that we were probably dating him at the same time, or best case scenario, he broke up with her to get with me. This would explain why all of her stuff was at his house, and she also told me that apparently the second that I moved to Pennsylvania, he was obsessed with me, and that every time I would walk in the door, he was always staring at me. Like, even when they are dating, he is staring at me, another woman, and he would always ditch her to come talk to me. And I don't really remember this. I mean, I do remember talking to him in the lobby, but I didn't put it together that he was leaving her to come and intentionally talk to me. She also told me that apparently once we started dating in January, he was going around and telling people that I was his Disney princess. Now, this is going to become a bigger deal later because, as a lot of you know, Ted was obsessed with Disney. We went to Disney a lot. We ended up getting divorced over a Walt Disney World burger, if you've heard that story. But he had this weird fixation with Disney. He thought that he was going to own the entire company of Disney, which I will get there, but just know that he is telling people that I am his Disney princess Jasmine. In December 2014, they were still together, and Ted was house sitting for a couple at the church, and he was going to watch their dog for them. And I know this to be true because I remember when we were dating, we had to go back and drop the keys back off at the house. So I do remember this happening. Sarah says that he invited her over so that they could hang out while he is dog sitting for this couple, and unprovoked, they're just having a normal conversation. Unprovoked, he attacks her and tries to grape her, and he jumped her to the floor, and it ended up ripping her shirt, and then she ran to the bathroom and hid until he calmed down. She said that a very scary look came over him and that he did not look like himself anymore. And I'm going to get into my own experience with Ted, but I know exactly the look that she's talking about. I experienced it many times during my marriage to Ted, and obviously I 100% believe her that this happened. So here's what you need to know about the leadership. There were the Banoffs at the top, and I'm going to be honest that I do not know if they knew about this. They were kind of detached from the school. He used to be a rock star, if you know about the Banoffs, and he acted like a rock star. So there is a chance that he did not know about this because he was not a very present part of the school. He would literally show up 5 minutes before school was starting. So there's a chance that he didn't know about this. But the next level of leadership was a married couple who was related to the Banoffs. Okay, so closely with the Banoffs. Now, there's this couple, and then there's a pair of sisters. So this is the head of the leadership that I know of. And actually there's another couple too. So maybe about 6 people. So Sarah is scared, and she decides that she is going to go tell the leadership what happened. And when she tells them, they do not believe her. They defended Ted. There was no ramifications for his actions whatsoever. And in fact, Sarah was punished for this. So she had a more involved role in this ministry. A lot of the students, you could work your way up. So she was one of the students that worked a lot and was helpful with the school. They essentially demoted her from Global Celebration because of this, because they did not believe her. And obviously Ted denied that this ever happened. So 2 or 3 weeks later, I am on my first date with him after this happened. The leadership knows about these allegations of what he has done, and nobody thought to warn me. Ted was huge on his purity when we were dating. He told me that he was 30 and that he was a virgin, and to this day I do not know if that was true. I had no reason to doubt it at the time, but it was something that he definitely held over me. He held it I am a virgin and I forgive you for what you did. And at first it genuinely seemed like he was being gracious. He was not being condescending about it. But as you will see throughout our marriage, that tone ended up changing. But what you need to know is that Ted was huge on purity, huge on purity. And I learned a lot of stuff from Sarah in the time that we spoke recently. And I'm going to share some of the stuff that I learned about his purity later on, because it is like a huge part of just this complete facade that he had, but I'm going to wait to share that part. So next I'm going to share about the prophet that said that God was giving me to Ted. This prophet is a complete con artist, and to the point where Bethel has even distanced themselves from him in recent years, and his name is Sean Bowles. If you know about him, he is a widely respected prophet in these spaces, so follow for the next part.